Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle packs from Christine Reyes. Well, we had a lot of fun with this Tangle on our Tangle Time session today, and I'll show you. Mine are not completely finished, but you'll get a good idea of some of the fun that we had. All right, so this starts with an orb, wherever you want to have this place. So this would be the center. And then, and I like that Christine put this in her step out. We're going to do basically orbs around this orb, but start with it, do a north, or close, south, east, and west, then fill in. And usually when I fill in, I kind of, it'll say I'm looking, okay, like here's a straight line, and this is just a little outside of that line. And then what happens at the end is that you almost get a nice circle of these orbs. It works. All right. Whoops. Okay, then you'll notice there's no jumping around. We're still figuring out what's going on. So I have an alternative setup, and it's just it's a little weird, but it's okay. Weird is good. All right. So once you have this set, then if you have done the Tangle Huggins, it's similar to that. So we're going to use the take off and land concept, and I'm going to take off, and that just means tracing over a little bit of this orb on this orb, and then when we land on the center orb, we'll just trace over a little bit there as well. So like that. And then continue all the way around. Whoops, I was aiming, I don't know where I was aiming for. There we go. And do this however you're comfortable. We were having a fun discussion. Some of them end up straight. That's okay. So you'll end up with those all the way around. All right. Then it's a curved line as well. And this one I like to start on the center orb and work outward. So we're, again, similar, but, and if you just watch, I'm extending it past here. I'm touching this orb and coming around. You don't have to touch that orb if you don't want to. You know, you can make this thinner. It's completely up to you. And if your orbs get a little sloppy, don't worry about it, because you can always come back afterwards and redefine it, and that just means to re-go over it. And that's sometimes helpful. All right, there we go. Now from here, and this is kind of a cool stopping place, right? I mean, you could be done there, but we're going to take it out a step further, and so just putting orbs to the outside. And I'm trying to have them so that way, like I said, so that they line up. Sort of. Well, okay, I have a big gap there, but no worries. Okay, so then we're going to do the same steps, just in the opposite direction. So I'm going from this orb and making a curved line to the outside orb. Whoops. Yeah, when you do the takeoff and land, it helps to like land and go a little bit around. Then you don't end up with those that little mark that you then have to, well, you don't have to. Then I feel like I have to go afterwards and neaten up later. And then that same second step. Now this one, I'm not going to go all the way over and, you know, touch that orb. This, because it's such close quarters, I just, you know, and again, it's just what I liked. Now, one thing I didn't point out yet is on this phase, and even down here, so that first curve, we're on one side of the orb, and the other one, if you know, come up, pull it around, and then end on the opposite side. That's a nice kind of frame of reference that I was finding helpful on this one when I noticed it. And of course you can play with how wide these are. You know, if you want to scoop that up further, it's, you know, it's so fun to see the twists that everybody puts on theirs, sometimes on purpose, sometimes not. You never know. But it's just neat. And that's it. Now you can take these out as far as you want to go. That's the fun that you get to have with it. And then also, on Christine's step out, she also adds that you could do, you know, this figure, you know, as you keep going, you could do it as a border. So it's just really, really neat. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of just some graphite down here in the base, because I'm feeling like that's what needs to happen. I'll bring it out a little bit. And then let's do here as these go in. That's always a good place to start if you feel like you don't know what to do when it comes to shading. Always where something tucks in, that is a great place to start. Okay, I am having a, okay, this is a nice, I'm sure I used it for something else. Looks like it has some white on there, but it's nice and new, and I haven't mashed the tip down yet, so it's nice to, it's always good to have extras, and if you can get one where you keep that nice tip, it's just handy for stuff like this where you want to just get into that little space. And there we go. Super neat. Now, of course, you can have fun with filling in the orbs, you know, all kinds of neat things that you can do with this. And like I said, it's just really, really cool. So to show you some of the things that I did with it earlier, again, not completely finished, but this, let's see, I took it out 2 times. So, you know, an extra time, and you're just going to alternate the direction every time. You know, and if you end up going the same direction, you know, and not have it alternating, there's always ways that, you know, just keep going with it. It'll be fine. This one I added some bead line. I weaved it in and out of those ends, and that was just a lot of fun. And then did this on a black Zentangle, and decided to add some extra ones. So I was inspired by actually what my mom was doing this, and I'm like, well, I'm going to add some extra ones too. So I still have some work to do on this. You know, just I have more filling in, coloring to do, and then I might do something else. I don't know yet. Sometimes I like to let it sit and then be inspired. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love to have you click like. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Also, feel free to share it and leave comments. In the description section, I mentioned that you will find links to the step outs. Below that, ways to connect with me if you wish. We have a fantastic group that it comes to a lot of the classes and then sessions, and then, you know, and also is on our Facebook group. Just amazing. So I have a link to the Facebook group there if you happen to be on Facebook. And also on my website, you will find links to classes. Ways to follow me for classes that I post, because right now I don't have my website where like you could sign up to follow. Although if you put in your email address to follow my blog, something that well, you know, it's going to be a new year here at the time of this recording, so that's going to have to be one of my goals, is to make sure that I'm posting those classes on my own blog. That would just be smart, right? So I will try to do that. But there are other places where I post them regularly, and I'm in the habit of doing that, so that way then you will see those. So with that, thanks so much for watching. And at the time of this, well, it's not quite Happy New Year yet. This was our last Tangle Time session of the year, so I'm all in the, you know, see you next year mode, but not for us here on YouTube. We have a couple days left. So with that, again, thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.